Hi boys and girls, Ken Smith here in Zavala, Texas at the world headquarters of the Ken Smith Fishing Empire, which is made up of one wife, one baby, 3 dogs, 1 boat, and a couple of trucks. What an empire. So as I told you earlier this week, if you haven't seen last week's video or earlier this week's video, check it out right there. I went up the Angelina arm. Today I went up the Ash arm. By the way, I'm a little sweaty. I've been picking the St. Augustine out of the garden. Living the high life here in Zavala, Texas, on my hands and knees in the garden. But I went up the Ash arm, and I want to tell you something really interesting is on the back side of this video. So this Saturday will be the first big tournament back on Rayburn since all this craziness started. It's the Outlaw Outdoors Team Series. And it's a drive-through weigh-in, and this is what the norm is going to be. This is what the Corps is allowing them to do. And Clint Wade of Outlaw Outdoors was here at the house last night, and we sat down and talked about exactly how it's going to look and kind of what all's going on. So I'm going to tack that on the back end of this fishing. It's 5 or 8 or 10 minutes of us chatting about that too. So if you're fishing Outlaw Outdoors, you want to watch it to know how to do this. If you're not, you might also watch it just out of interest to see how things are going to be going forward in tournament fishing for the near future, at least from the Corps perspective. So really nothing else to talk about except some fishing up the Ayish Bayou arm, and let's go do that, and I'll come back and kind of give you a close right here at the end. Good morning. This is going to be part 2 of what might be 3 or 4 reports this week, according to how the fishing is. So yesterday, which would have been the first show from this series, I went up all the way up the Angelina arm. And today I'm also above the 103, but I'm all the way on the other side of the lake. I'm up the Ash arm. So we're going to fish around up here. I've been up above this bridge one time before in my life, and that was 15 years ago. So once again, fishing new water, put in right here at the bridge, and I'm gonna start right here on the riprap, see what happens. Here we go, guys. I just got rolling up here, and I got to tell you, it is absolutely gorgeous. So you can see the boat sitting in 12 feet of water, and there's cypress trees just lining this creek. It's actually the Ayish Bayou is what it is. And we're about to hit the giant Salvania. I don't know how far I can fish, but from what I've seen so far, it's gorgeous. Really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. Well, that was a little disappointing. So I got a couple of bites back there. I had another follow that you didn't see, but as you can see, looking over my shoulder from the other camera, I am 0.42 miles as the crow flies above the 103 bridge, and it's now completely grassed over, and it's coming downstream. So it's not going to be very long before you can't fish probably more than a quarter of a mile of this. So not a lot of bites, beautiful water. I wish there was about another foot of water, because I'm pitching into these cypress trees, and it's, you know, it's a foot deep at the base of these cypress trees. I think with just a little bit more water, it would pull these fish out of the creek and get up in there. So if the water comes up a little bit sometime in the next few weeks, I'm gonna make another run over here, because I think this could be a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, it's really beautiful. So I saw one more slough back here I'm gonna fish. You can see I got weather. The wind just switched, and it got about 15 degrees cooler. So I may not have much longer to fish today, but I'm gonna bang around in here a little bit more and fish the mouth of that slough right back there, and if I can catch a few more fish for y'all today. So let's check it out. The head knocker. Knock, 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 knock. I doubt if the camera caught that, but there's a bolt of lightning right in there. So I'm done, boys and girls. Done, done, done. Gotta go. See you bye. No habla lightning. Hey, one thing to add, because I get asked about this all the time, is this is the bridge. So I'm up the ash arm. This is the ramp at the 103 bridge. Now it's only one boat wide, and there's probably enough space here to park 15 or 20 boats. There was, I think, 6 or 8 when I got here. But it is extremely easy to do by yourself. There's really nowhere the wind can get to you. Hold on. So even if you had a due sort of northwest wind, it doesn't have a big run at you. So this is a good ramp to put in by yourself. And I also get asked a lot, kayak guys. And I'm telling you, you could turn around and paddle right out there, and you're in that river. And you guys saw I fished up about 3/4 of a little bit less than half a mile, excuse me. So kayak guys, I would say this is a really interesting, good place for you guys to put in too. It's even got at the water level places you can step out. A little bit of trash here, but where you don't even get your feet muddy. So thought it would just be helpful for you guys to know about this ramp over here, because they get asked about that all the time. So there you go. By the way, if I have red lips, not lipstick, I'm drinking my red Gatorade out here. I got hot. Working in the garden. Anyway, so that's a wrap from up the ash arm. Beautiful. Wish there'd been a little bit more water up there. I will say the water clarity is much better up the ash arm than it is up the Angelina, which the ash arm will get muddy quick. But for you small boat guys, you kayak guys that want to put in and not burn a lot of calories or not burn a lot of gallons just looking around with plenty of shallow cover to fish, I only went up. I know there's fish on some of the cypress trees on the other side of the bridge too, and I suspect the fishing's probably better on that side. As you see at the end, saw at the end of that video, I had come back around that riprap on the outside and was going to fish back towards the main lake, and thunder and lightning ran me off. So really shortened day. I lost 2 days to bad weather down here, as did everybody else that didn't fish through it. But that's what I saw up there. It's beautiful. I'll get back up there again. It's just fun, shallow water power fishing. So especially if we get a little bit more water as the summer progresses, I suspect there'll be some good fish up under some of those big, giant, pretty cypress trees you saw. That giant Salvania is going to be a problem. It grows really rapidly. If you don't know anything about that, it's a pain in the butt. But I don't think it'll get below the bridge and get bad. At least I hope it doesn't. So there you go. We will be back down here real shortly and get some more video footage up for you, and I think you'll enjoy it. Hey, boys and girls, special guest here at Ken Smith Fishing tonight, socially distanced, Clint Wade, the founder, CEO, world marketing director for Outlaw Outdoors.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed. Completely run by Stacy. So you got the first big tournament, really, since this all started, coming up on Rayburn.
Yeah.
This next Saturday.
Yeah, May 30th.
Outlaw Outdoor Team Series, $10,000 guaranteed first place.
Yes. And I'll tell you, Ken, this is going to be the biggest tournament we've ever produced. I expect over 300 teams in this tournament.
By the way, forgive us for the log trucks going by. It's Zavala.
It's Zavala, the Piney Woods of East Texas.
That's right. You're going to get a log truck.
Yeah, maybe a skidder every now and then, the backwoods, back 40 back there cutting logs. But it's going to be the biggest tournament we've ever had. Like I say, probably over 300 teams. And because of the Corp of Engineers rules, the only way they would issue us a permit is if we would do a drive-through weigh-in format. So this is the biggest tournament we're going to have, and it's a weigh-in that we've never done before. So as it gets a little closer...
This will go great.
Oh, no problem.
No problems at all.
As it gets a little closer, I'm probably going to wake up in the middle of the night a few times and think, how's this going to go?
All right,
How are we
so
gonna do this?
how should this go?
Okay, Man, I've went over this
So normally these are blast-offs, but you've changed that.
Yes, and again, this isn't my choice. I guess we could say it's China's fault because they sent us this whole pandemic over here. But the Corps of Engineers is simply playing by everybody else's guidelines.
They're being safe.
They are being safe, absolutely.
That's cool.
It's all about the use of the pavilion and not letting us gather. They're letting us use the parking lot. But like Ken just said, normally our tournaments are customary, just like Bass Champs or Texas Team Trail, any of the other major bass tournament trails out there. We have a numbered takeoff in the morning. And of course, you have to launch right there at Humphrey Pavilion. Everybody takes off from there. Everybody comes in there. We have a big social gathering at the pavilion.
Yep.
It's great for the sponsors. It's great for the fishermen. It's fun. And now it's been just totally wrecked, and it's coming back, no doubt. I hope in a couple months we'll be back to normal. But now it's going to be a trailer and tournament where you can put in at any ramp at any time. You just can't start fishing until 6 a.m. And the drive-through weigh-in, the way it's going to work is everybody has to come to weigh in with your truck and boat. You can't come by water. And at Humphrey Pavilion, we are going to have 10 lanes set up in the Humphrey Pavilion parking lot with our weigh-in trailer set up on the apron of the pavilion up there. We're not going to be under the pavilion. We're going to have a ton of extra personnel out in the parking lot with safety vests on, and I actually had Stacy order a yellow-orange flag today for traffic control. And you're going to turn off Highway 255, fall off into the parking lot, and there's going to be somebody stop you. First of all, she's going to tell you what the bottom weight is to get a check. If you don't have that weight and you're not in running for Outlaw of the Year, I hope you do a U-turn.
Which is only about 5 teams at this point.
It really is. If you're not for sure in the top 10 for Outlaw of the Year,
these guys aren't going to stumble.
No, the top 5 guys, Rusty Clark and Corey Rambo.
I've
think
never heard of those guys.
Clayton and Albert are in there.
Those guys I know, yeah.
So, like I say, if you're not getting a check and you're not for sure in the top 10 of Outlaw of the Year, do a U-turn and go back and turn your fish loose and save the hassle of going through, the drive-through weigh-in. But like I was saying,
post them on Facebook.
Yes, put them on Facebook and tell them you was one hook set away from winning the tournament.
And had to be a 26-pounder, but whatever.
Absolutely, I've been in that same position
many times.
Yeah, Texas Team Trail.
I could have won that tournament that Brian and Danny won, but I'd have had to catch a 31-pounder.
You'd have had to call the 2-pounder for
the 31-pounder.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Right. One hook set away from it though, right?
One hook set away.
So you'll pull off in the parking lot, and the lady will catch you, tell you the bottom weight, and then she will direct you to the next person who will tell you which lane to pull up in. We're going to be able to stage about 60 trucks and boats.
One guy in the truck, one guy in the boat.
Yeah, and once you're staged there, when it gets within 5 or 6 of you pulling up to get in line to go to the trailer, another person will bring you a mesh bag, and that's when the passenger will get out, take the mesh bag, get on the back deck of the boat, put his fish in the mesh bag, and then set them back down in the live well. And once you come up to the stage, remember, nobody gets out of the truck or the boat. You'll stay in the truck when you pull in front of the stage, and the partner stays in the boat. We'll have a guy walk out to you, which, remember, you're 10 steps away from the stage at this point. This is kind of like the Bassmaster Classic.
Right.
And you'll hand off your fish in the mesh bag to one of our guys. He'll dump them in the sink, look at them, measure them, whatever he needs to do to them, bag them back up, hand them to me. We'll weigh them. They'll pop up on the LED display, and my dad will actually be the one standing in front of the vehicle. When he steps out of the way, you take off and go to the exit staging area. All this is so fancy that we've come up with.
Good.
And you pull up there, stop. The guy that's on the back of the deck, he goes, gets in the truck, and y'all leave. And remember what this is about. This is what we have to all keep in mind. This is about no gathering.
This is about our privilege to still fish.
Absolutely, and that's what everybody has to remember.
You can't. So let's just talk about that. We can't blow this off and all say, we're going to hang out in the parking lot afterwards, or you're going to see what happened in Missouri this past weekend.
You're
where the
exactly
government's
right.
Get pissed.
And
Excuse my language.
I have had a weekly conversation with Sam Gramlich, our lake manager, Sam Rayburn lake manager, and he works for the Corps of Engineers, and he all but told me that if
Don't screw this up.
don't screw this up. You're exactly right. I have the first permit issued for as long as they can ever remember for a drive-through weigh-in. And no pressure on you, Clint, but if you screw this up, we could potentially pull the permit for Texas Team Trail, our permit on the 13th of June for the Average Joe,
Right.
and then ABA has a permit for the same format on the 20th of June, and then the Texas Shootout for
Let's get
Bass
this
Champs has one on the 27th or 28th. So there's a lot of eyes on me, and if I screw up,
You,
I'm disappearing for a while.
you got Stacy.
I will blame it all
All right.
on Stacy.
Ready for your first curveball?
We're not going to see curveballs this
You got a
Saturday.
curveball coming right here because a guy asked me this afternoon, can I fish by myself? And if I do,
It's not a curveball. I just nailed it. I knocked it out of the park. We're going to have 2 extra high school kids that are volunteers from the Brooklyn fishing team. They are going to get in your boat. They're not getting in your truck to drive
good call, good
because
call.
it's Journey.
I was already worried. No, I was already worried about them driving
Oh.
into something. Yeah.
They're going to get in your boat. They'll bag the fish for you. They'll pull in front of the stage, and then of course when they get out, or they'll get out with your fish, and you'll just be able to take off if you're by yourself at that point.
Cool. All right. So there's the question. By the way, that came from an Aggie. I know that's not going to surprise you.
Did he? You think he even understood my explanation now?
No, but I'll write.
He's-
I'll do a diagram.
He's dragging that slider back and listening to
like,
it again. I
now,
bet.
wait, what do I do?
Yeah.
I got to bring a high school kid. I don't know a high school kid.
Yes,
what do
you
I
do. Bring your own.
Bring your own high school kid. There you
Yes,
go.
absolutely.
All right. Well, this ought to be interesting. I mean, I think you're going to have a great field.
We're still polygraphing.
And by the way, fishing, there's a ton of fish getting caught.
Oh, my
But there's
gosh.
not a lot of big fish getting caught. This could be anybody's game.
It is. We have been very fortunate, Stacy and I, the last 2 or 3 weekends, we have run into a big fish, and people are asking us, what'd y'all figure out? And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. What we figured out is when we get on the water, we cross our fingers and hope and pray for a big bite.
Well, I mean, how many fish did y'all catch in the thing Monday?
It was a terrible disaster for us. We didn't catch
I
but
know it was a lot of
probably
wind.
45 or 50 fish.
I only caught 45 or 50
Well,
fish.
yeah. I mean, that sounds
But
like a
did you
spoiled
have,
brat.
how many fish over 3 pounds did you have?
None. 0. I bet you could count the number of fish over 2 1/4 on one hand.
The guys that won with 98 pounds, I think they had 7 fish over 2 pounds.
Exactly.
So this is wide open. This is probably a chance for you guys who are not Rayburn locals to come down here and truthfully get a little bit lucky and win a whole heck of a lot of money. Because
Absolutely.
it's going to be over a $10,000 first place payout.
It is, and that's something I was going to talk about too. Is it's guaranteed to pay $10,000 no matter how many entries you get. If we got 50 entries, or if we got up to 200, at 240, it increases to 11,000. At 280, it increases to 12,000, and every 40 above that, the top payout increases.
And you're
1,000.
paying down further in the field too.
Absolutely, we pay one place per 8 entries. So all the money that's gathered by those additional 40 places is not paid towards the top
Five more
hole. It's
places
trickled
every
down.
time, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. All right. So there you go, guys. That's in addition to the beautiful fishing you just watched or are about to watch up the Ayish Bayou. Clint and Stacy came over tonight to have a beer with us, and we thought we would just share with y'all what's going to go on. Anything else they need to know about
Hey,
this?
for more information, go to outlawoutdoors.com.
Oh, you finally bought the domain.
We finally saved up our pennies and nickels.
So there's a funny story there. They had Fish Outlaw Outdoors domain.
Because it was like $9.95 to buy. $9.
Somebody else had snagged Outlaw Outdoors. I can't imagine who would have done that.
You better not. You better not. Al.
You'll never know.
No, I don't. I don't.
And you had to pay several $1,000s. for
I did.
that.
We paid almost $3,000 for a domain name
that
that
nobody
was
was using.
sitting there.
There you go, sitting on the shelf.
Yeah. So if any of you guys want a great investment, go buy. I don't even know anything off the top of my head, but go buy it for
Black
$9.99.
Labrador Retriever domain right there.
There you go. BlackLabradorRetriever.com.
Stella.com.
Yep. Stella.com. And sit on it for 3 or 4 years, and somebody will say, "I gotta have that
That's
website,
right.
that domain name," and they'll give you $3,000 for it, like this idiot did.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna shake your hand, but we'll hug after the camera goes off.
How about that?
Fist bump. Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all this next weekend.